effect of temperature on the resistance. Now the kinetic energy of the crystal of any atom is increased in temperature of the metals. Now it is available in the form of vibration. Now this increases the possibility of collisions of drifting electrons with the atom. Now due to this increasing in the value of the resistance. Now the value of the resistance in copper, aluminum is increases with increases in the temperature. But in semiconductor like silicon and germanium, covalent bonds are broken with increase in the temperature. Thus, the resistance of semiconducting material is decreases with increase in temperature. So now it is a totally reverse process of the conducting material. Now the resistance is also decreases in the insulator and electrolyte with increase in temperature. But like in some material like constant current, there is no change in resistance with change in temperature. That means it is independent to the variation of the temperature. Now let's see the graph of copper between temperature versus resistance. Now it shows that the most of the part of this curve is linear. The value of any resistance, remember it is most important, the value of any resistance becomes zero at absolute zero temperature. That means minus 273 degree centigrade or 0 Kelvin. Now this curve, linear curve, is extended on the x-axis and it cut at point D. Now it is called infrared temperature. For copper, its value is minus 234.5 degree centigrade. Now next, resistance temperature coefficient. Now suppose the resistance of conductor is R0 ohm at 0 degree centigrade. That means that is the initial temperature at 0 degree for the particular conductor. Now and let's take the value of resistance of the conductor is R1 at T1 degree centigrade temperature. That means if we increase the temperature from 0 degree to 1 degree T1 degree centigrade, so increase in temperature you can write final temperature minus initial temperature. That means T1 minus 0. That means the variation of temperature is T1 degree centigrade. Now due to this increase in temperature, as a result which increase in the value of the resistance also. So here I can write delta R. Delta R nothing but the variation of resistance due to the variation of the temperature. And delta R we can write R1 minus R0. R1, that means the value of resistance at T1 degree centigrade, and R0 it is nothing but the value of the resistance at 0 degree centigrade. Now it is found that the value of the resistance, the increase in resistance is depends on the directly on the initial temperature and directly rise in the temperature. So I can write delta R is directly proportional to R0 and delta R it is also directly proportional to T1 minus 0. It is nothing but T1 degree centigrade. So I can write the variation in resistance is directly proportional to initial resistance R0 and temperature T1. Just put the value of delta R in this equation. R1 minus R0 is directly proportional to R0 T1. So we can write R1 is equal to R0 plus R0 alpha 0 T1. Now take R0 as a common, so our equation becomes R1 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T1. That is the equation number 1. So by using this equation we can find out the value of the resistance R1 at temperature T1 if we know the value of the initial resistance. Now here the alpha 0 it is nothing but it is a constant which is called as a resistance temperature coefficient. So if we found out we want to find out the value of alpha 0, our equation becomes alpha 0 is equal to R1 minus R0 divided by R0 T1. So if R0 is 1 ohm and the temperature T1 is 1 degree centigrade, then alpha 0 is equal to, we can write R1 minus R0. So now from that, the increase in temperature, increase in resistance per ohm, original resistance per degree centigrade rises in temperature is called resistance temperature coefficient. Now the unit of resistance temperature coefficient alpha 0 is ohm per centigrade. Here you can say that this terms gives its unit is ohms, here it is ohms, and T1 degree centigrade. So the unit of resistance coefficient is ohm per ohm degree centigrade. Now here you can see the curve or the graph. So from that we can write out delta triangular DAB and triangular DOC. From that we can write out AB, we are taking the ratio AB divided by OC. Here you can see AB divided by OC and is equal to DA divided by DO. Now DA, it is nothing but D0 plus 0A divided by D0. So dA is equal to R1, D0 is equal to R0 is equal to D0. It is nothing but, here you can see this D0. It is a value of 234.5. Just we can put plus OA, that means T1 divided by 234.5. So R1 by R0 is equal to 234.5 divided by 234.5 plus T1 divided by 234.5. Now this 234.5 and this 234.5 get cancelled. So our equation becomes R1 divided by R0 1 plus T1 divided by 234.5. So if we can write the equation for the R1 resistance, it becomes R1 is equal to R0 in bracket 1 plus T1 divided by 234.5. That is equation number 3. Now compare equation number and equation 3. So from that we can find out the value of alpha 0 is equal to T1 divided by 234.5. That means 0.0042. So the value of alpha 0 is equal to 0.00427 ohm per ohm degree centigrade. Now we can find out the value of alpha at different temperature. So already we have seen that the value of the resistance of the conductor is changes with change in temperature T, and it is also depends on the resistance temperature coefficient alpha. Now but it is found that the value alpha itself, it is not constant, it is also variable and it depends on the temperature. That means the value of alpha is not remain constant and it is different at the different temperature. That means it is not constant for any temperature, it is also vary. So suppose a conductor of resistance R0 ohm at 0 degree centigrade and it is heated up to T1 degree centigrade. So our equation becomes R1 is equal to R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T1. Already we have proved it. Now let this conductor is said to be cooled from T1 degree centigrade to 0 degree centigrade. That means it is reverse. So from that the variation of temperature becomes final temperature minus initial temperature. So 0 minus T1 is equal to minus T1. So here we can find out R0 is equal to R1 from this equation. R1 1 plus alpha 1 minus T1. So R0 is equal to R1 in bracket 1 minus alpha 1 T1. Now multiply this R1 to this equation. So R0 is equal to R1 minus R1 alpha 1 T1. So for R1 alpha T1 is equal to R1 minus R0. So alpha 1 is equal to R1 minus R0 divided by R1 T1. That is equation number 2. Now substitute the value of R1 in equation 2. So already we have find out this value of this R1. This value is substituting in the equation 2. So alpha 1 is equal to R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T1 minus R0 divided by R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T1 into T1. So alpha 1 is equal to R0 plus R0 alpha 0 T1 minus R0. Here R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T1 into T1. So now here we can take R0 as a common. So R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T1 minus 1. Because we are taking R0 as a common, divided by R0 1 plus alpha 0 T1 into T1. This R0 cancel, this 1 cancel, as well as T1 also get cancelled. So the value of alpha 1 is equal to alpha 0 1 plus alpha 0 T1. That is equation number 3. So we can find out the any value of alpha 1 at any temperature from the knowing of value of alpha 0. Now next, find out the value of alpha 2 from alpha 1. So here suppose any conductor we have value of alpha is alpha 1 for temperature to 1 degree centigrade. Now we find out the value of alpha 2 at temperature T2. So already we have seen that alpha 1 is equal to alpha 0 divided by 1 plus alpha 0 T1, equation number 4. Now reverse this equation. So we will get 1 upon alpha 1 is equal to 1 plus alpha 0 T1 divided by alpha 0. That is equation number 5. Similarly, we can write the equation for alpha 2. 1 upon alpha 2 is equal to 1 plus alpha 0 T2 divided by alpha 0. Equation number 6. Now subtract the equation number 5 from equation 6. So 1 upon alpha 2 minus 1 upon alpha 1 is equal to 1 plus alpha 0 T2 minus 1 minus alpha 0 T1 divided by alpha 0. So here 1 upon alpha 2 minus 1 upon alpha 1 is equal to T2 minus T1. T2 here this cancel, 1 cancel, right? Alpha 0 taken as a common, so alpha 0 cancel. So here T2 minus T1. So 1 upon alpha 2 is equal to, we can write 1 upon alpha 1 in the bracket T2 minus T1, equation number 7. So from that we can find out the value of alpha 2 is equal to 1 divided by 1 upon alpha 1 plus in the bracket T2 minus T1. So as we have seen, R1 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T1. If we know the value of R0 and alpha 0, we can find out the value of resistance R1 at any temperature T1. Now let me see how to find out the value of resistance R2 at temperature T2 by knowing the value of R1 at temperature T1. Here we don't know what is the value of this initial resistance R0. That means when R0 is absent, how we can find out the value of R2 if we know the value of R1 at temperature T1. So already we have seen that R1 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T1. For similarly, we can write out the equation for resistance. R2 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T2. Now take the ratio R2 by R1 is equal to R0 1 plus alpha 0 T2 divided by R0 1 plus alpha 0 T1. This R1, R0, R0 cancel, and we can write this portion 1 plus alpha 0 T1. We can write 1 plus alpha 0 T1 minus 1 here. So now by using binomial theorems, it can be expanded. But here we are neglecting the square of the terms and the higher power terms. So here we can write directly 1 minus alpha 0 T1. Remaining portion will be neglected. So R1 plus R1 R2 divided by R1 is equal to in the bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T2 1 minus alpha 0 T1. Now multiply this equation to this. So we will get 1 minus alpha 0 T1 alpha 0 T2 minus alpha 0 square T1 T2. Now the value of alpha 0 T1 T2 is very small, so it can be neglected. So our equation becomes R1 divided by R2 is equal to 1 plus alpha 0 in the bracket T2 minus T1. So R2 is equal to R1 is in the bracket 1 plus alpha 0 and another bracket T2 minus T1 bracket over. So sometimes in above equation we are taking alpha 1 instead of the alpha 0. If we are not we don't know the value of this alpha 0, that time we can take the value of alpha 1 instead of this alpha 0, because there is no major difference in the answer. So if we are taking alpha 0, and we can find out the value of this R2. If we are taking alpha 1 value instead of this alpha 0, and we can find out the value of this R2. In both cases the value of R2 similarly nearer to each other. So that's why we can, that means there is no change, there is no major change. So that's why we can also use this equation R2 is equal to R1 in the bracket 1 alpha 1 in the bracket T2 minus T1 bracket over and second bracket over. From that we can find out the value of R2 if we know the value of R1.